This is Shaun Sport in podcast form.
The Freo W back at Fremantle Oval on Sunday. It's going to be going off, particularly with the Fremantle Dockers up and about over smashing Essendon last week.
You
Emma
smashed them,
Driscoll, good morning.
Good morning. Yes, how good. We had a huge win on the weekend and we are that pumped to play Adelaide at home this weekend.
Yeah.
So get down, get your tickets now. Let's
It's
go.
going to be sun shining, 21. Let's talk about Anya. Good on
She's
you, Anya.
unbelievable,
Isn't
yeah.
she? So she's an Irish player.
Irish. They've actually made shirts that say "Good on ya" on
Yeah.
them, so
that's
it's
good.
amazing. Yeah,
Well, she kicked all the goals in the second
Yeah.
quarter. The first quarter, a bit of an arm wrestle against the breeze at Windy Hill.
Yeah,
Literally
definitely.
Windy Hill.
Yeah,
Windy-
well named.
And then you just pegged him in the forward half.
Yeah, absolutely.
Took all ground position and away you went.
Definitely. First quarter was hot. At one point, I was wheezing, literally had exercise-induced asthma, and Gabby O'Sullivan had taken her mouthguard out and was gagging. So it was coming in hot, but definitely had control of the game after that. And to be honest, throughout the whole game, we did not think once that we were going to lose it. I think so. It was phenomenal, and yeah, Anya kicking 4, she's just unreal, especially with the breeze being so bad. But we know she has got a thumping kick, so when we were with the win, she certainly capitalised. It was great.
Does it really add something having an Irish person on the team?
You've got a
We've
few,
got
haven't you?
yeah, 4. Yeah,
Is it great?
definitely. Their ability to snap the ball is like no other.
No,
Like, we love them.
good crowd.
And
meant
they're
the
lovely.
vibe.
They're
Yeah.
fun to be around.
They just make you happy, don't they?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I think we've had all their birthdays at an Irish pub as well, so get a glass of Guinness in us. It's made us play better.
That's the secret.
Well, playing Adelaide, we know how good they've been over the last couple of years in particular, but they had a win on the weekend as well. This will be a really good test.
Yeah, well, Shawnee, I was saying to Nat before that I think Essendon are a good team, but they are still a new, inexperienced team, whereas
Yep.
Adelaide have obviously played finals footy their whole campaign, so I think it's going to be a really good test, but also an indication of where we are at as well, and really good test for our mids as well, who are a brand new team. Kiara Bowers has also had a baby as well.
Oh, great.
So
wow.
speaking of midfield, she will not be back this year, but had a little baby Luca, which is awesome too.
Oh, congratulations.
Yeah, that's great.
One of the things we loved about the weekend's football was the scoring, and in particular, the purple team who belted 10 goals through. So that was a big change on what we've seen last year in particular.
Yeah, definitely. I think just the skills of AFLW have just gone through the roof. But I think the main thing we are focusing on at training is that mid-forward connection. And to be honest, the backs sometimes feel like we're dipping out because we're playing an outnumber all the time so that our forwards can score. But it's clearly paying off. And I think they've also brought in new rules as well about the ball ups in the 50. They're actually bringing them in as well. So they want them to be, I guess, closer to goal so that we can actually score, which has been a really great rule change. And I just think, the girls are getting more skillful, which is awesome.
Which is inevitable. You know, the more it's played, that's going to happen. Yeah.
Hey, we've been talking about
was
love
waiting for
languages.
your question.
No, we've been talking about love languages this week. What's your love language?
Acts of service for sure. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
Acts of
it certainly
service.
does nice things for you.
And I don't have time, so it can't be quality time.
So what's the best act of service for you?
I think just like if you were to get home, dinner's cooked,
Yeah.
house is cleaned, that sort of thing.
Well, Em's
like,
been training, so that would be like,
Yeah.
I'll just walk in, there's a bowl of
run
food.
me a bath.
When's the last time you got home and dinner was cooked?
Never. This is my point. Last time when I was 15, when I was at home with my parents.
This is the thing. Sean complains about when dinner's late. When do you want it on the table by?
6:30.
6:30. So Sean gets angry if it's late by 6:30. But like, if we don't do it, we don't have it there by 8:30 or 9:30 or 10:30.
Yeah, but you went over the sink at 4:30. What are you
I was
talking about?
about to say, he has a banana at 9 p.m.
Yeah, no.
Easy grab and go meal.
That was that time. I go, don't eat a banana in bed. I nearly choked on a banana in bed. And then I thought, if I died, then you can just imagine the joke.
Oh, no, you don't have to die for us to make it. We're all making them in our heads right now.
Brilliant.
Hey, when did you start playing footy?
What age?
When I was 17. 18.
Yeah,
I-
see, that's late, really, isn't
Yeah,
it?
so
These
late.
days.
And that's me. I still can't kick. It's perfect. Ball drops are hereditary. All of our family are useless at it.
What was the go-to sport for you then?
Netball. So I played netball all the way through,
Yeah.
and then I went to Country Week for Northern Senior High in Year 12. And
You sound a bit rough for
played-
netball.
Yeah, I was. I used to run through people. I hated that. 3
They're like,
feet? What do you mean?
Maybe we need to look at something else for her. And here she is.
Here
It
I
paid
am
off.
playing footy now. So definitely didn't look back when I switched sports. And I love footy. It's great.
And look at us come on so much that, obviously the girls of tomorrow are going to be unbelievable with their skill level, but as a professional, it's dragging more and more girls away from other sports out there.
Yeah, definitely. Well, we're getting paid to play sport, and as you know, a female, that was never a dream of mine. I used to grow up thinking I'm going to be a physio, whereas my two younger brothers grew up thinking we're going to be AFL players.
Yeah.
And to not have that dream, I suppose, was something that I guess I just worked extra hard for. And then now I think there's that balance between being grateful for what we have, but then still demanding more, knowing that we can get that. And I think this is why other girls are coming from other sports as well. When they're not investing in women's sport in other areas, then they know footy is putting a lot in, and I think they'll get a lot out of it as well.
We're going to be doing some art soon. I want to talk a bit about the footballers and art because they seem like things that don't usually marry together. During school, Shaun, how were we at art class? Did we get a good score?
Me?
Yes, Shaun.
I have always, even when I tried my guts out, struggled to be able to colour in inside the lines.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's
And
true.
I remember, growing up with Rove's a real great artist and stuff like that. So there was a show called, I think it was The Early Birds on Channel 7 or something, 9, whatever it is. And you used to have a competition where you can colour in and then send it in, win a prize. We'd be all sitting around, all the family members and everyone. Just could never do it.
And then Ross was, but Rove was shading, wasn't he? He was shading when you were just...
And he was also winning, wasn't
power
he?
gripping a crayon. What about you?
I think I need guidance, like a paint by number or something. I could sit down and do.
Yeah.
But I'm just not creative.
You'd be all over a paint and sip, I
Yeah,
reckon.
paint
More
and sip, I
sipping,
can
more
see it.
sipping than
I
painting.
mean, even better after a few
But
glasses
do
of
you
red.
remember what your grade was at school for art?
Probably horrendous. I was only looking at the sport.
The people that were in art class and got a D, I was like, how?
What did you get?
Me, A. I got the art award.
Oh, amazing.
And I got
Was
the
there
phys ed
anything else,
award.
was
I got
there?
both
Thanks
awards.
And he was,
Shaun Sport in podcast form.
Pav, good morning.
Pav!
Good morning, hello team. I've got a bone to pick with you straight away, Nathan.
Yeah.
And it's a workplace.
Yeah.
It's probably a workplace cultural thing, phones in the office and
Yep.
text messaging and walking into meetings. I just received a text from you. You're working. That's not appropriate.
Yeah, I know. I went to the toilet
Come on.
and had to show him something.
Pav, you must have met the...
I was also in a meeting yesterday in at 9, and all the people had their laptops, and I'm like, is it a... are they just looking at, their next flight,
Yeah.
Yes.
their next holiday, or they're actually taking notes? So that's such a cultural thing. Is it appropriate? Is it not?
Can I talk about something else that's completely different? This is about you, and I spoke to Nat and Shaun about it the other day. Pav and I had a coffee the other week, and I sat there and got lost in his skin. He has the most, and Pav, I didn't tell you, but I was watching you because
Just
I
mesmerised by his pores.
I know what you were looking at, and I was looking at you, and I was going, it is photoshopped. It is just the most perfect colour.
He takes a filter with him everywhere.
It's deep. It's got depth, Shaun.
Yeah.
It's a colour you paint your walls.
The beautiful Mediterranean oil that's spread across.
Many generations
Pav,
to create this man.
Is it comforting to know that if something happens to Lauren, there's somebody ready to step in as your spouse immediately? Is that...
Variety's the spice of life. I'm always...
I'd be great.
You'll never not be loved, Pav.
Would be great with the kids. Just a bit paler than Daddy.
Maybe all the people at the workplace with their laptops are writing stuff about Pav.
But
No,
maybe they're drawing him.
honestly, if anybody sees Pav today, or if you have Pav in your life,
He's on the telly all the time.
No, but in real life, look into the pores. There are none. There aren't no pores. There are no pores, Shaun. He's poreless.
Moisturising's important.
Yeah, there
yeah,
you go.
right.
Moisturise and
It is.
sunscreen.
Yeah.
Good advice.
Yeah.
Pav, the footy.
Anyway, the final shot.
Well, it kicked off last night, and
Nobody saw that coming.
we've kind of been talking about how good a coach Chris Scott is, and he spent a couple of years with us down at the Dockers, and for him, and I keep going back to him because it's a team that's been rebooted and rewired, as they say in the game, and he keeps getting it done, and these teams keep getting it done. Geelong.
And geez, they got it done in style last night. That was crazy.
Yeah, they were unbelievable. And, Chris is such a balanced, mature, intelligent kind of guy. I think he's been building and setting this team up for this run at the finals because he knows more than anyone that this year is wide open. It's, normally the top 2 or the top 3, people say, it's really hard. I'm not really sure if anyone else is going to win. This team, whether it's Melbourne a couple of years ago, the Bulldogs a couple of years ago before that, it was like, okay, this team is going to win. But yeah, I think this year's wide open, and he's set this team up. He's rested the right players at the right time. Structurally last night, setting the high half forwards up into the contest, which stopped the likes of Horn Francis and Rosie and Butters, and their impact. And it was just an elite performance. And Port, well, they were a deer in the headlights. They were fumbly early.
And at home
they
as
didn't.
well. Yeah.
Yeah, and the heat will be on them, obviously, leading into what is now
Get English
potentially
jobs
a
up.
straight set.
It's a really good question, Pav.
It might actually somehow bizarrely get Ken Hinkley over to the west and look after the Eagles if they go in a straight set.
Weird
Pav,
turn of events.
You know what it's like here. You also know how hard they can be and how harsh the supporters and the media can be on Port Adelaide or Adelaide. So where do you see... I mean, Koshy's going to play a role in this as well. So where do you see this going with Port this week?
It'll be brutal. The fallout will be huge over there. Port supporters, like Collingwood supporters, they're beautiful, but they're also feral. And they'll be, they're just so passionate about their team. There's 150 odd years of history, and
don't call them toothless, Pav.
Oh, yeah. No, they are ruthless. But
No, toothless. Like Rochelle called them toothless, remember?
Sorry, yeah. Look, there's a few toothless supporters in every tribe, let's be honest. But, yeah, it'll be massive. And it'll just be about... Okay, you lose... In anything, like you perform poorly, you fail an exam, you don't pitch something that well at work, you go out and lose your... first qualifying final by 80 points, it becomes mental after that. It's not about physical or game plan. It becomes how do you deal with the trauma of such a big loss like that and actually get everyone ready in 7 days' time to mentally go and handle the pressure. That's all that Ken has to do this week.
Yeah.
It's so bad that you got to kind of wipe it from everyone's minds.
And
very
that happened
quickly.
at home as well. I reckon that really stings for them.
It's difficult because they're like us in a two-town state where you walk down the street and
everybody knows
pointing at you.
No, they won't. Yeah, I've been there before where I'm sitting in the car and I say to Lauren, can you please go and get those coffees? Can you please go into the I don't want to see anyone. Like you feel ashamed of actually walking out of your house. It's when you're in the bubble, it feels a lot worse than when you're out of it and you realise, it's just a game and all those things.
Yeah, but what about Aaron Sandlands? Remember?
He couldn't go to the shops because he stuck out so much.
And he was just like, and everyone could see him from 12 miles away.
And he's not naturally an outgoing person.
And here he is cowering in the mayonnaise aisle trying to pick up some seriously good hirings.
I remember going to the US for the first... He'd never been out... we'd been to Bali before, but we took him to the US and he was walking in New York and he's feeling all good about himself. He's like, I'm not going to be noticed over here. It's in America. There's people that are tall everywhere.
Yes.
The first subway we walk into, people are just gawking at him. His head was on the roof. He was having to duck down in the subway. So.
People are lining up waiting to look out of the viewing platform that he has. Unbelievable. Hey, Pav, all week we've been discussing, the last couple of days we've been discussing love languages. What's your love language to Lauren and what's hers to you?
Oh, gee whiz. Is this like the four things where it's like action or touch or
acts of service, gifts?
Yeah, so I think Lauren would say I'm none of those to her. What would be? No, I think is it action? Like as in actions? Yeah, I think actions is probably. Yeah. I'm certainly not a touch. What's the other one?
So you're definitely not touch. So you don't. So touching you doesn't. Yeah.
Nathan wants to know next time you have coffee.
So, Pav, for example, if Megan made me dinner, if I walked in the door, you've had a long day or whatever, and there was just food on the table, that'd be like,
Yeah, Shaun to throw her down on the Not So Lazy Susan.
Give me the other ones, Swirly. What is that?
So we've got gifts, we've got acts of service, we've got touch, we've got isn't it something about saying stuff? Words of affirmation.
Affirmation.
Words of affirmation. Harry,
not words, not gifts,
not touch.
Not touch. So acts of service. Yeah,
acts of service.
Like mowing the lawn or doing the garden.
For Lauren, it would be touch. I think she likes that sense of affection.
Holding hands. Remember you talk about your dad walks so far in front of you. There's no chance.
I've never seen my parents hold hands.
No,
I've never because
really?
Because dad walks in front of mum, not to clear a path or to scout for danger. And sometimes he looks back and he doesn't even see where she is.
The only time I've seen my parents hold hands was my grandfather's funeral, and Dad held Mum's hand as her dad. And I'm like looking, going, what's going on?
Right, Pav, actually, we were flying, I think it was maybe Hong Kong or whatever. Anyway, we were going in between flights, and we realised we had no time to get to a flight, and Dad took off.
So, he didn't.
He took off because he didn't want to miss the flight. He didn't even know where Mum was. Like, he literally was like just gonna leave her dead.
So his love language is abandonment.
His love language is abandonment. It's pretty much.
It is monkey see, monkey do, isn't it? Like whatever your parents, it's such a we are just sponges for behaviour. There's no question of that. So
you try and fight it your whole life, and then you realise, oh no,
you are.
I know you're it. Pav, the big game tonight. Before we let you go, who you got?
Yeah. Well, I think the Bulldogs. I think they'll beat the Hawks. I think the Bulldogs can go. Yeah, I do. The Hawks are a bit inexperienced, and the Bulldogs, with and without the footy, are probably the best team in the competition. And I actually think the Bulldogs can go on a bit of a run. But having said that, I thought Porter beat Geelong, so there you go. I don't know much.
Yeah,
all right.
True.
Well, we mightn't have to watch Channel 9 News because you won't get the inside scoop. He doesn't know.
No, he doesn't know.
But if you do watch Channel 9 News, look at his skin.
Yeah. Well, the problem is I wear lots of makeup on Channel 9 News.
That's why people need to see you in real life.
Yes.
Can we organise a showing?
Yeah.
We'll just when people sign books, but people can just come up and have a look at your skin.
Individually, you meet people for coffee.
It's like a skin
at the moment,
gawking
it's a bit
session.
cold to show a lot of skin. Like it's this feels like a summer activity.
Okay, so wait there. So in summer, are we going to do
nude.
No. In summer, are we going to do a thing where we're going to get people to line up and have a look at your skin?
Well, that's what you're proposing. I'm not proposing it.
No, but it sounds like
you're open
bored.
to the idea.
Okay, done. Bring on summer, Shaun.
But let's. This is a TBC.
Yeah, I think it is, Pav. Good on you, mate.
No,
Have a great weekend.
it's not.
Talk next week, mate.
Bye.
We'll lock it in.
Shaun Sport is a Nova podcast. For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcast.com.au.